So now that I have this file open, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up my layers palette. To do that, you're going to go to Window and Layers. So there it is, and I know I can find it because it's right there, the tab. It's connected to my Pathfinder panel right now. If I want to disconnect it, I can just pull it out like that from the layers, and if I want to, I can just close up Pathfinder. So like I don't need all this up here, although I am finding this color tab to be useful for what I'm going to do. So I just went ahead and went to window color. So I'm going to leave that open too. You'll see why in just a minute. So right now I just have one layer. There's nothing on it, as you can see. Let's show you how this works. So if I grab, for example, a rectangle tool, and maybe I'm going to make something kind of interesting. You can make any shape rectangle you want. So right now it has a fill of white and a stroke of black. You might want to change that. So I'm going to make mine blue. Oops, I don't know why I didn't. Make it blue, okay, and give it a different stroke, maybe a bright green. And what the heck, I'll make my stroke up here a little bit wider so I can actually see it. So that looks good. And everything up here looks the same, but what you might notice is on the side now, next to my layer, I have a little triangle, and if I click on that, you can see that there's now a path located there. And what that path is obviously this rectangle. So if I click on that, I can just grab that path. Now, that's pretty simple, but watch what happens. Now, let's say I grab another tool. Let's say I'm going to grab an ellipse this time. I'm going to make a perfect circle by holding down the Shift key. And again, it just defaults to whatever the fill and the stroke were. So I'd like to change that and give it another color. Okay. And give it another color stroke because I just want to. And oh, look, I have some of these already set up in my panel, so I could grab that, or I could come over here and I could grab something from here. I have lots and lots of options. Oh, I'm not on my stroke key. So I can change it wherever I really want to. Whatever, basically, whatever I'm in the mood for, really. Okay, so now I have this lovely stroke color. Oops, let me delete that. So something new just happened. If you look over here, you can see that I now have a path underneath layer 1. These are both called sub layers. So I have a path here and a path here, and if I grab my selection tool, I can move them around, and I can also change their order. So watch this. If I put this here, and then over here, I drag my path underneath the other path, it's now behind. I can also make this invisible, or if I want to, I can even lock it so that I can't accidentally select it. So no matter what I do, I can't move this one around. I can change that. I can lock this one, and so now when I grab it, I can only select this one. So that's kind of neat. So I can change my layer order. I can do all kinds of different things with these. So that's very convenient. And they're all located on the same layer. So if I want to just make all this invisible for a second, or at least not have 15 million paths, I can just make this layer go like that. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to add what the heck, I'll add a polygon. And I'm going to click over here, and I'm going to tell it that I want 3 sides. There we go. So there it is. And again, I like to change things up. I'm going to make the colors different. I'm going to make the stroke color different as well because I feel like it. And what the heck, I'll give it a thicker stroke because I can. And I'll put this over here. Now, of course, this is showing up as the path is on top. Another little trick here, watch this. I can take the path and I can copy it down here. And now I have 2 of the same thing. I can take this one, for example, and I can make it bigger. And it doesn't affect this one over here because it's a completely different shape. I can move where it is. I can, at any time I want to, I can change. Oh, I moved the wrong one behind. That's all right. I can change the fill color of this to, again, whatever I want to. It's really up to me. So I think you get the idea with paths. They're pretty interesting things. And let's say I'm going to hold down, here's another little trick. If I hold down the Option key, I drag this, I just made a copy of that path. Let's say I didn't want another path, a third path. I can take this path and drag it down to the trash. So for now, what I'd like you to do is make a few different shapes, at least one circle, at least one rectangle. Make at least 5 different shapes. You decide what you want to use. But make a couple different shapes and play around with them, give them different colors, and keep them all on the same layer like that. So you should have five or six different subpaths, different colors and whatnot, all in the same layer.